Hello everybody, I am Christina and welcome to Scrapcraft and Stitchery. Today I thought I would make some tags. I have already made these. So what I'm thinking, and I've pulled out a few things that you might want to use to do this. Definitely some glue. What I don't have is the background that I'm going to use for the tags, because I have a whole bunch of tags that I've saved up from things that I've purchased, and I want to kind of upcycle those. I have this whole bin of paper that we can pull things out of that just have, where I've sorted out all of my little purchases, where these are like really thin papers with botanicals and writing, and these are already like really truly made. We want to make something like this probably out of our scraps. It's kind of the direction I'm going in. But I have all of these things that I've collected over a lot of time. There's washi stamps in here and all kinds of different things we can pull from. But first, so there's that. I got out a sticker book because I'm just trying to use up. This is just a fun thing to use up a lot of the things that I've had and to play with paper and just have a really fun, good time. I like this. I have a lot of my, okay, before we go off getting in. So I pulled out a few things. I got some stamps. I also pulled just these were kind of on my desk. These are some packaging, a magazine. My National Geographic came in these, and I really liked these images, and I pulled them out and saved them because I thought maybe I would like to use these to do something, and maybe we'll use them on a tag here today. Plus I have just a pile of scraps already, and I have my big scrap bag that I've been collecting things in. I'm a little bit embarrassed to show it to you because I wanted to find a nice container. But basically, I've been making journals, and I finished sewing together 3 journals last night, and I have all of this. And I was like, wouldn't it be nice to just have a whole stack of tags that need some topping to be finished. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know, this is like kind of a lot to get to use some things that, you know, might be thrown away. I have this today because this is the 3-hole punch that I know where it's at. This is nice because you can use this as a punch. And it has a ruler here so you can see that you're centered on this tag. So that's really nice. We're going to do that. I'm going to finish this up quickly while I'm here and doing this, and this is making some pamphlet stitches. I thought that it would be cool to really use some of these up to make some tag toppers, so you're not wasting anything. Everything's getting used, and it's getting used in a way that's kind of quick and easy, and it hasn't been sitting on my desk for like the last 3 years, right? Because I think that that's kind of a problem for me. Is if I'm going to save these things, I should use them sooner rather than later. And for this, I'm going to go through the back. And actually, you know what? So what this is this was a master board that I made, and I cut it down into a tag, and I haven't covered the back of it yet. And I want to add something to the back of this. In this case, and this is just a tag that I got, maybe I purchased this as a tag, and I have a bag of manila tags, and so this is what this is. So this has already got a nice background. It's a little bit sturdy. It's kind of a lightweight kind of a thing. I will say this vellum that I stuck down the other day, it's not sticking. So let's add a little more glue. Little more glue. I have my Tombow glue in my little tiny bottle out today. And also I have some Scotch permanent glue stick. These are kind of permanent fixtures on my desk here since I use them every single day and all the time. I'm trying to fix that, get that to stick down a little bit better. Okay. I made this tag the other day out of just some scraps on my desk. It's got washi tape. It's got lots of different things. So there's tons of different things you can do with these. But let's get going and playing, and I will show you. This is how many tags I have. I think this is tags from things that I have purchased, and I have been throwing them in here, and I throw a lot more in here than I use up. So I have quite the stash in the hole of tags that we can upcycle. So I'll grab some of those in a minute. I'm going to finish covering the back of this with something. Off of my desk. And what I want is something that I could potentially write on for this. I guess you could just put this down and put a picture or something on top of it, or just use it as a layer. Would be very pretty. Let's finish this. Let's finish this, shall we? This is just a washi tape, and I think it is kind of an astronomy one, and that is too big. I wonder if any of these are smaller strips. Now you're gonna watch me struggle for the rest of the night. So these are just astronomical washi tapes. And I'm just going to add that onto there because I think it looks nice and it matches. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to make another tiny little bit of a... Let's wait. I have an idea. Alright. I have this very, very crinkly, very, very well-loved piece of avocado dyed paper. I don't know what happened to this. I really don't. I think it probably got mangled partially in the fire. But I'm going to use this to maybe cover all or some of this. Sometimes I use strips. I don't usually use this. I did just see somebody say that they kind of tried to iron this. Would somebody be able to? Would I be able to write on this? That is a very good question. Maybe not. I think by the time that I'm gluing it down, I think the answer is going to be yes. So, let's maybe glue this down and then tear it off. I think those are probably our best bet for doing that. I'm going to glue it onto this because it's a much better surface than this to glue onto this. Let me grab my glue paper. Okay. Not get anything too underneath there. That came with that. We are going to get going here in a minute. Just you wait and see. We're just not quite there yet this morning. I did get up earlier than I have been, and I already been for a walk today. So I feel like I've gotten more done today than I usually get done. I don't usually go for my walk until around 5. But then I do go for an hour and a half walk in the evening. And so I decided to try and split that into 2 walks today, and we will see how that goes. But I'm trying to get 200,000 steps every month, and I'm getting close, but it's also the end of the month and I am not close enough. I'm not quite there yet, and I have about less than a week left. So having glued that down, let's glue this down. Okay, and that did not get glued down. These are just images that I got in a paper pack bundle again, similar to the one I showed you. And I had a little ruler and I left it out. I'm trying to not lose my things today. That is the order of business. Let's not lose our things today. So I'm going to just tear this along here. This will give a possible place where you might be able to write something on here. This tag could actually use some sort of a sentiment or something. We might leave that for when we do it, but we can do it now for sure. This is kind of an interesting little piece. So this is one way to really make a lot of ephemera at one time, is to do a masterboard and just do a collage, one big collage, and then you may cut it up into tags and into tucks and into a lot of different things, and that's where this tag actually came from originally. I just wanted to back that so that I can. So this is very wrinkly, very used. I am going to be done with this. I think I'm allergic to cleaning, honestly. I cleaned off my desk. Now I just have this terrible feeling allergy. I must have kicked something up. I always like to say that I'm allergic to cleaning, though. I am now going to put this down and add this as just a little bit because I'm excited to get to this point. So there's that. I don't think I'm going to go ahead and ink this right now. I'm going to leave this, but what I do want to do, put this back in here, make a new hole, and add this. And now I've lost it. All right, good. It's gone back into the pile of strings we're trying to use up. Some of these are long enough, some of these are probably not long enough. Some of these, at the end of the day, we're going to wind up throwing away anyway, but this one's really long. I cut an extra and lost it. I do think this blue goes well with this, even though it's kind of more green in there. But the map colors make it look good. I really, really love this like kind of linen-y yarn that I have, and I use it quite frequently for binding journals. It's just really, really nice. Let's see if we can get that to go in there. And we'll make this tag topper and use up all these little bits and pieces that are, so that I don't have to throw them away and they can get used again. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, we didn't go through that loop. I see another one. Come here, bundle. They're just kind of fun once you like kind of have them all together. Okay, in one messy bit. Except for we haven't gone through all these loops. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So this one will go through. And this one we can send through. Okay. There. There we go. It's kind of a crazy looking little journal topper. And the back looks like that. Okay, put that over that. We could add more to this. We could certainly add more to this. Like I was saying, I mean, a little sentiment or something would look really cute on here, or a picture. But I'm going to leave this for now. So let's make some more tags just like that. That's what I want to do today, is make just some tags that are here. Maybe make some with some images that are a little bit more fun, a little bit more modern. Maybe mix these up with some things that are like just some book pages and things that I have over here. We'll see what we decide to do, and I think it'll be fun. I have a whole pile of ephemera over here that is ready to put into my books. I am going to grab this. Here is a tag. See, we can add this to our pile. I'm just going to cut that off and throw the end of it away, because I think we can do that just fine. Scissors, scissors, scissors. I am going to enjoy just relaxing and doing this today. So, maybe we want to do more than one at a time. So, reaching into my bag. This one is, I don't remember where this is from. This is actually probably okay to just use this tag by itself. It's not too branded. I like to cover up some of these. But I don't like too much logo. But this is pretty. I mean, I think Pink Republic is fine. I'm going to leave this. It also has this nice eyelet. I'm going to leave that because I don't really feel the need to work on that today. Look at that. That one too. What the heck? Let's throw that over there. It fell into my coffee. Okay. This kind of a thing. This is the kind of thing we want to really cover up. This is a nice size too. I like this. This will give us some bang for our buck. We're using this just basically for the cardstock. Sorry, I should have grabbed some of these that I wanted to cover beforehand, but I didn't. I don't like those things. Sometimes they're super acidic-y and they just will cover this. This also has a something on it. I'm gonna go grab the trash can and bring it over here so that I can start throwing away all these little things that I have collected. I hope you're, great. That's fantastic. Got the trash can. So I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you're getting to spend some time just, scrapping along with me, pulling out your papers, playing with your scraps. Maybe you're working on a journal page, whatever it is you're doing. I hope that it's going well and you're having fun. This is just some packaging. It's in my tag bag. of things I would like to cover up. For some very beautiful things. Let's see. How many of these do we want? Like, I love these. These are so great. Honestly, we'll save this and put it back on top. This one's a little bit damaged. It's a little bit bent. We can take ideas like this. I'm trying to... ThredUp is obviously an online thrift store for women's clothing, children's clothing, and that's what we're trying to do today here. We're upcycling a little bit, using up some things, so I feel like that's very appropriate. Just look at these colors. Isn't this beautiful? This, we might make a journal card. Ooh, 20% off. I have no idea what this is from. Eco-friendly. These are all the things we're trying to promote here. Being eco-friendly, eco-friendly, kind of upcycling. These have some pretty, actually, really, really pretty. Look at this. Like, this is really just a gorgeous little tag. It's going to go into our pile of things we can use. We don't have to, like, do something with all of these things. These double fold tags, I think, are really, really nice. So let's try and do something like that. Also, this has got like an embossing on it. It's really pretty, patterny. But obviously I want to cover this up. You don't have to cover up all of these things. Mystery bottle. Ooh, mystery bottle. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm playing here. I like covering that up. So, okay. I do know what I'm doing. Sorry, I am like not awake yet today. So one thing that I like to do with these is kind of an interesting and fun thing. So these are the things I'm going to cover today. Selected from my bag. This is why I have so many of these, because it's easier to buy them than it is to cover them. Oh, hey, I just found this too. We'll use up some of these. These are some like chipboard things, but there's a lot of like little things on here. But I think we can like just grab some alphabets out of this bag of stuff from the scrapbook. I also have a whole bunch of other things over here. I have a big bag of scraps over here. And one thing that I've done before, and I will grab this chunky monkey and show you really quick, since these things, this is like one of these, this is a Hello Fresh card, I think, that I've covered in just some easy squeezy paper. I could add something to this. This journal is pretty much done. But these, so you can put an image on the front, and this is kind of a cool idea where I've just taken scraps and laid on top of this, and these are some like papers that I colored, and I think we might kind of go with something like this and doing scraps and strips of scraps that in layers. And I think I'm going to start doing something like this with this, and so I'm going to leave these out as kind of the inspiration for what we're going to do with these, and go in a direction of upcycling these labels and tags and packaging things from just bits and pieces of our life. So, reaching into my scrap bag, what have we been doing? So I'm just looking for really like things that are maybe strips, because I always have lots and lots and lots of strips, and this isn't really what I'm going for, but this is let's use a book page. And strips. I should have a place to keep strips. I have some other strips. I have strips. Oh, look at that. That's nice. There's a magazine image. This is a very, very scary bag. Sometimes it's got strips of coffee dye. I'm just going to mix all of these together. However, feels good and feels great. And oh, I love that too. Let's grab that. Maybe we can just grab a whole pile of things out of our scrap bag. Oh, there's another label. Lots of stuff goes in, and it eventually will come out and come back around. Let's just get some things we can pull from and work with and make this happen. Look at this color. Look at this color. Oh my gosh. Okay. I think there's a front and a back for that too. There are some other, I'm just digging through here. There's so many just great scraps. I'm looking for things that are really strippy right now, just because I feel like that's the mood I am in. The mood I'm in is to just take scraps, strips of scraps, see how they come out. Hold on. I know I have another kind of a strippy thing that I was playing with last night. Here you go. I want that sure to do this. So now that I have made this huge mess, strips and strips. Let's get some strips. Let's not put them on my glue pad just yet. Okay, so I'm picking out now all the strippy kind of things that I think will go with. That one's a big one. That's a small one. It's got a hole in it. There's like Petite the penguin. I have no idea. This is from the cat lady. The cat lady and selling penguins. Okay. That can go back in our tag basket. But you know what? I think I'm probably just going to find a place and put this in one of my journals. And so I might start building a box of things that I want to just stick in journals. I should have that somewhere, right? Okay. We're excited. We are. We can put this in the trash. I can put this back in my fun thing. There's so many cool things in my scraps basket that are just fun things, and that is, oh my gosh, I got into some images that I obviously have already just thrown in there. Let's use those up today. Let's use all of this up today. We're going to start with doing strips. That is a strip too, and that is going to go down on here, and these are just some fun other things. I love those together. Love that together. That is great. Okay, so we did get quite a few straps. I think that's enough to kind of get us going. I also had a few strips. Look at how beautiful this is. I cut this off of a piece of artwork that I put in a journal the other day. It's a hand painted paper. That's strips, small strips. Always tearing these things off of other things. That's a piece of envelope. That is a piece of book page. Doesn't matter where these things came from. That's also, oh, that's a piece of printed paper. We can do half circles too to kind of fill in. This is a little bit heavier. So this is, I don't know why these are like this, but that's fine. These are some scrapbooking papers. Look at these. These are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So pretty. Just pretty, 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 pretty. And these will look really good mixed in with the papers and layered in. I actually have the packaging from these, and they're all in a strip, and it shows them like, and yeah, I have that. I'm gonna put this aside as something to decorate with later. Oh, this is just fun. Okay. I don't have all the strips out of here, and that's okay. Some of these will be collages for something else. Look at that. Nice. Okay. Let's get to gluing. Let's glue. We'll find some more stuff if we need to. But let's just start gluing some of these things down onto here. Let's clean up after ourselves so that we have a space to work. Okay. We have kind of started to organize. That can go there. Okay. I'm just gonna, I want to use up all of this today. That's what I'm gonna do for the next, till I'm done. I'm just gonna use that all up. So, how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to start covering these things. I'm going to pretty much cover this up to the edge with these strips. Okay? And I'm just going to kind of keep layering them on and layering them on. And where this is, I'm just going to tear that off, and it's already glued, so I glued that on. Maybe it would be better to do this a different way. I'm not sure. Not too sure. So this is a flat side, and I'm going to line that up. And I'm going to probably do strips on this. It probably would have been better to start with the bigger things and then have a smaller thing. But that's okay. We'll think about that in a minute. And you could turn these and do them in different directions and all kinds of different stuff. But I am just going to do my best to put a layer down and to cover this up. So I do have a tag where I tried to paint over it and it did not cover with the paint completely. So you're going to need a really opaque paint if you wanted to add paint to these, but you could paint them. I have not been successful in doing so because it would just require too many layers to go on there. I really like reusing just found items for my junk journal. I think this is a great way to junk journal. This guy is going to receive all our scraps. This is the scrap receiver today. And I'm just going to put that there, and I will clean up the edges when I'm all done. And I'm just going to put things every which way on this until it's full. So it'll be strips and strips. Now you're asking me, couldn't we, as we're doing this, it's what I need is a skinny scrap to go here. Right along there. So I'll clean up the edges of these. I'll probably use a file to file this down. The nice thing about using all these like neutral tones is this can be the front or the back, and you could put this in a journal pocket or something, and then you could write over this. This is lined this way, you could write this way. If you're into writing on your tags. because these are plain enough that you can do that. One thing I've also done is wrap these around, so if you have long strips and you want to go like maybe around this way, you could wrap it. This has kind of a little bit of a date. I'm going to put this down in this corner. I think that's fairly cool looking. That one's too short, we didn't get any. That's an interesting strip. I'm really just kind of looking for something small that can fill in this last bit. And I'm just overlapping these as I go along, however they fit on there best. This is a long bit, will cover a lot. Just overlapping, kind of trying to use the whole thing. I am trying to make it so I don't have to really cut a lot off of this. And then I might just kind of continue on the other side of this and put this other piece right there. Lining it up with the edge. Grabbing this piece of avocado dyed paper. It's going to cover quite a bit of this, right? If I allow it to. Okay. It's a big piece. We'll come back in, we'll fill that up. You don't have to cover all of this. Maybe you like this pattern on here and maybe you just want to cover parts of it. You could just come in with a sticker, put a sticker on there and say, I like the gray and I like these polka dots and I'm just going to leave them, and that's fine too. Absolutely fine. I like this to be kind of very, ooh, I'm scratching the surface of that. This is a very wrinkly kind of paper. Okay. That is going to come there and just kind of hang off the edge a little bit. This is really pretty. I love this like blue color actually. And also that pattern. I guess it's not the same on the back. I have no idea where this came from. Great. I don't know where a lot of these things came from actually. These have been in my bag for a long time. So I'm really happy to be doing this today and giving these things. Like this little piece, very interesting. That's kind of where it was bound together in this magazine, I guess. It definitely feels like magazine paper. So I'm going to keep that, and I think that that's just a really super interesting little bit, and I'm going to put that probably on here like this, because I like this edge and I don't want it to get sanded off. This is a very particular kind of I just save the bits, every little bit. My goodness, yes. We're going to use these to make art. It's going to be very, I'm appreciating this right now in this moment, I guess, is really just kind of this soft torn edge and this like little bit and this little piece. And it's just so nice to kind of sit here and play with the paper. And we can, that did not cover that, so we can go back over that or not. I am going to probably cover this with this other side. Has a little tiny bit of pink on there. Maybe from something I've done. But it's got this just little pink flecking. It's really cool. Okay, so I'm going to do that because I felt like it. So this one's covered, and now that that's covered, let me see if I can find my sanding block. Here it is right here at hand. So I'm just going to sand this because it's not quite even, and where it's not quite even, I'm going to sand this off. And then I'm going to set this aside while we cover some more tags. When we have a whole bunch of them, maybe we'll go in and find some to decorate. Maybe some of them we won't. Depending on how we feel. But this is a nice tag. So I recently made some tags and I used one of them for a tag for a baby shower gift. It was really pretty. It had some like homemade colored papers, and I added some lettering from some scrapbooking, ephemera, and it was just a really super cute tag. I also had ChatGTP help me write a sentiment for a baby shower. So that was fun. I wrote that on the inside. It was very well received. So I'm using the sanding block because a lot of times these have some interesting like rounded corners, and it just makes it have a really nice feel to sand these down. You could just cut this off with a pair of scissors and that would also work, but this is just very relaxing. I am going to relax today. I am going to do this. I don't know where my eyelet setter is, but I am going to grab, while I'm working here today, I want to grab my little handle to make a hole back in there, because I could stick this into my paper cutter, but because this is a thick tag, it's not going to fit. So I am just going to grab the awl that I use for book cutting and put that in there. There you go. One tag done. Great. Well, not done. One tag at least covered. I think it's, oh my gosh. Like, isn't that so cool? Yes. Yes, it is. That did not get stuck down enough. Okay. There you go. We have made a tag. It's got lots of interest. Just very neutral, but also very interesting. I really like that. Let's put that aside, and we still have a lot of these to make. I'm not gonna do that one. I am gonna grab another one. This one's a little bit lighter than the last one. This one is very thick. Very nice. This one is a little bit thinner. You know what? Ooh, look at this. Look at how well those match. This is just such pretty paper. Totally just completely ecstatic. Let's go this way this one. Maybe. Why not? I was saying that I like to wrap these, so let's wrap this one. This is a little, this paper is obviously a little bit more exciting. It's got a little bit more vibe to it. It's also a little bit thicker. This is some kind of probably mixed media paper that I was working on for this. So it's just a little thicker. Put that there. Very pretty. Like that a lot. Okay. And then we'll put this last piece down here. This is going to be a very textured thing, because like I said, this now has this thicker paper on top of this copy paper, and that's okay, and that's very fun. Wonder if there's anything that might be, there's this orange and there's this orange, and so I think that this will go very well if we put that with that. I'm able to use some of these thicker papers. I feel like go well on this card, on this tag, because this tag is really not as thick as the last card tag. And so there is that. The next one I might switch up and wrap the other direction, just because. Okay. Then I'm just collaging these on to this other. This might become more like a, it's kind of an odd size for a tag, so we could make it into a tag. We could put a pull thing on this and make it into a journal card. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see how far that gets. And so I'm just going to keep grabbing and keep adding to this. It's just what we're doing today. I might add that next. And I hope this will wrap. It will, both ways. So I guess I'm just kind of looking for things that are a little bit thicker here. And using up some of these colored bits and pieces. And it's just going to be a fun piece. And this is, I feel like, a little bit more modern and a little bit less like vintagey, maybe. All these like bright, fun colors. I'm gonna put this so it's kind of covering this orange, because it's got this really straight edge and it's got this torn edge. So I will probably cover the orange. I like how this is coming out, and of course you don't have to do the front and the back, but that's what I'm doing. I feel like this is a very thick piece of cardstock. I want to grab my bone folder, and it doesn't seem to be over here where I think it should be. Unfortunate that. Well. Let me see what I can find. Put that. That's the one we've made. Why don't I see my bone folder? And I see all kinds of files right now. That's what I'm seeing. But my bone folder seems to be missing. And I just saw it. Oh, you know what? Oh my gosh. This paper cutter is kind of like a all-in-one tool. The works. We are memory makers. It's an all-in-one tool, and it has a bone folder in it. There you go. Just cut this off so we can kind of keep going. Gosh, look at how cute this is coming out. Very good, very good, very good. I'm gonna throw that away a little tiny bit. This is absolutely brilliant and I love it. And this is just the top off of a piece of 12 by 12 paper. Come back to that orange color, adding that back in. And this is why we keep our scraps. You know what I'm saying? This is why we never throw anything away. It's because you can use it to do this beautiful collage and build it into something new and extraordinary. Okay. That's the bone folding. Right? Okay. Just a little collage, little tiny collage here today. Do you love it? I am loving it. Just absolutely fabulous. Okay, so we just have maybe 2 more pieces to fill in on here. So I think this orange is going to take our top spot, and I like the idea of having that kind of a straight line here. Just wrap that around like that. I like that this is like bringing back the orange again. Pretty colors. And this is what it's all about. You could make this, you make a book of just tags. How would that be? I don't even know what I mean by that. I was thinking a book made out of tags, but like a book to show off your tags would be fun, and all the different ways you can use them. I think that's pretty all by itself. It's just so pretty. I don't know where the top of this tag is, and maybe this is the top of the tag now. This is very pretty. What else can we find in our pile to go here? I'm just going to do a very, very plain bottom of this. Again, for the ending. Because I think that's just what I want to do. Okay. That will be that. Will be that. Will be that. Okay. That'll be that. Little bit of fun there. Okay. there. I think this is a really interesting tag. I don't know what to do about that. I can't tell where the top is, and so I think it's just gonna be like that. I think this is so pretty. I love this. I like that. I'm glad that got included. Very, very cool. Let's throw that over in our done pile. I am gonna just maybe sand. I'm gonna leave that. I want to sand this off. I think that where you can see this perforation is, I think I'm not super pleased with that, but other than that, I think this is a beautiful thing. I think it's beautiful all by itself. You don't necessarily have to do anything else with this. You just tuck this right directly into a book. You could put a sentiment on it, like just one word, I think. Is probably what I would do. Maybe just print out a word like blue, blank. Those words that I have on my desk today. Perception. Okay. Just trying to like blend these things in. Like actually using this truly as a sanding block here. To kind of blend these things together. You could also have taken each one of these things and done a separate inked it all separately, and maybe with some of these plainer papers maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't. I have apparently not been really in the mood to ink a lot of things, and I just haven't been doing that. So let's dig these out. What I think I want is to grab the next biggest thing, so probably these things, and we'll do these things kind of last. Great. Clean up our desk space where it's gotten kind of crummy. Let's do that. I do sometimes like to take off stickers. This one I don't think is going to be too in the way. It's very flat. Some of these other ones maybe not so much. Let's keep going with this partial collage. Let's go back to sticking down like that. Let's go back to doing it this way. And I don't know. I like this torn edge, so I'm going to put some flat things down first. You could go in a variety of ways, right? This is a very long piece. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to use it until it is done, which is what we've been doing. Let's go ahead and do this, and we'll stick this down. And then go back, put it back down. So we have clearly like piece this together. And ta-da, rip it off. Okay, and just the last little bit that I have left can go into my other collage space right there. Because we can't forget to finish this too. We have a lot more. We're going to need more tags. This is okay. this is exactly what we meant to do here today. So we're going to need something else to go in there because that's not going to cover that as far as we want. So we can put this little piece of just copy paper on there, right? I got this morning, I bought some legal size paper that is printed the long way across, and I got it this morning, and I have a couple other colors coming, and I'm super excited because I want to use this in a journal, because when you put it in there, obviously when you fold the paper in half, instead of this like lined paper going up and down in your book, it's going to go across in your book. So it's going to make like a really nice writing space. And I am super excited to play with that, but I need to decide what other things I want to put into that journal. So I'm going to be making that in the upcoming days. I might try and figure out exactly what I'm doing with that tonight. Do I have like just a small piece? I should have small pieces. So that can go there, and you know what, I'm gonna like fold that over the bottom to do something different, so that when I turn this over, I'm gonna have to deal with this. I'm gonna make myself a problem right now. Ooh, that is very fragile paper, meaning that when I glued it down onto my work paper, my glue pad, it peeled right up. That's okay. Okay, so we can fill in from there. And then I'm going to take this. I really like this 18. I really like that. And there's just going to be some words hanging down there as a stripe down the middle. Why not? Why not? Let's see if I can find a clean place. I guess if we had done the other side, we'd have 17. Oh, I guess I should be trying to talk louder, maybe? I'm not sure. I am kind of quiet today, I guess. I'm just barely whispering and hoping that the software and stuff that I use will fix all this for me, I guess. I don't know. Good. Let's put this book page down over here. Somewhere in the middle land, and that's gonna look really cool. Just a little bit of text, just a tiny little bit of text. Let's do this dot paper next. Let's put that down. This is coffee dyed dot paper. I love collecting different papers. I really do. And seeing what I can do with them. Thanks for being here and playing with me today, because this is just so much fun for me, and I hope it's so much fun for you too. This is great. I just love this paper, how it's kind of torn up and ripped on this edge. Okay, let's get that down. Just turn this over, and it's all glued. There we go. And then I'm gonna put that. How can I save that? You know what? Let's do it this way. Kind of really some more like true collage going to go on over here. this little bit is. Let's put this down. Because we can put that. This was, I mean, whatever this little bit was, this was definitely a piece of envelope. I'm going to switch the next one up. I just got an idea, and I got this idea because I'm looking at this and I'm seeing through this envelope because it's kind of torn already. And so I can see the tag underneath here, just a little ways, and I like that because we're using the color. Okay. That's too big. That is too big. And this is just right. And I'm gonna leave little bits and pieces. I'm gonna go ahead and leave little bits and pieces. Sorry, I have totally, completely just kind of spaced out and my mind has wandered off. And that is just the meditative nature of this. I'm gonna say it might also be a little bit of my just, you know, undiagnosed whatever peeking through, maybe. I just totally got lost in this choosing of papers and enjoying the papers. It's very mesmerizing for me. Very pleasant thing that I get to do. This is a little bit of piece of artwork that I made and tore up and I like to collage with. I don't know how much of this is left, but let's go ahead and just put this down here. Let's keep the whole thing. I think it'll fit really nice right there. I'm gonna have kind of a little bit of a messy bit at the bottom, but that's okay. This is coming together very nicely, and we're using up these scraps and just filling in and filling in until it is all covered up. And we can cover things up, and that's okay. And we can not cover things up, and that's also okay, because I still really like this. And I'm gonna have to cover it up, but I'm gonna cover it just this corner up with something in a minute. So covering stuff up and leaving stuff to be covered. This is very used looking. This looks like, not like it's a brand new thing. It looks like a thing that has been sitting on my desk and I have spilled coffee on it. And I'm not going to put this here. I don't think. But you know what? I have changed my mind. I have a little tiny, very inexpensive die cut and I am going to put this die cut viney planty thing right there, and I'm going to call that done. That's what's going there. Yes, it is. I wasn't going to put that there. I was really not. But now I am. And since I have a little black, and I have this little black stamp pad. I am going to go directly from the stamp pad and do this. Maybe a little bit of this, and just kind of grunge this up because there is that black on there. I'm going to do something a little bit different. I am going to try and use up all of these scraps still. But the next one, I might pull out my washi tape just to kind of play a little bit different game with this. Okay, I like that, I think. I don't want to go any further with this, because if I go any further with this, my feeling is I'm going to have grunged it to the point where it's not green anymore, it's just black. So we'll call that done. Too much glue. Too much glue. Christina? Mm-hmm. Okay. We went overboard. Yes, we did. It's okay. It's okay to... It's not my fault. That just came out. I like that. That kind of gives it a little bit of ground. It gives it a little bit of something different. Maybe like this worn urban space with something green growing, which we've also grunged up. Cool. That looks grand to me. Let's see if I can find poke a hole through here somewhere. I think that's it. I think that's the hole. Again, these are too thick to use with my little tiny paper puncher on my thing. It just won't go in. So there's that. I am not maybe going to so here I left a little bit of space where you can kind of see the tag peeking through in a couple of places. The back of this is very covered. It's a little grungy, it's a little messy. I could go and maybe ink. You could ink some of these before you lay them down, if you are so inclined to do so. Today, I'm just not. But I do think that this particular one would look good inked in the black, because I think it would kind of start to tie a lot of these things together just a little bit. I'm gonna sand this down. Surprise. Bit of a surprise. There we go. There it came off. Some of these tags have just such lovely rounded corners, and I really just love that. What I might try and do, and what I really like to do over collage, is go ahead and put a finish or a varnish on these. And I've been using some Artist Glossy Medium, and that has been really just giving me a great finish that's very touchable, and it'll also kind of help pull down some of these kind of more worn corners, which I think are great to leave. They add a lot of interest, but also kind of make this a little bit, feeling like it needs a little bit of finishing, and for these really, I mean, for this one, I'd probably use the matte medium to go over the top and just give it another, and that works like decoupage. It kind of sets everything down. So I might do that at the end when I'm all done with these. We'll see. So that's 3 so far. Let's just look at these, how very different they are, how very lovely. We're getting a little more creative and a little less creative. We have a little bit of like added things, and some of them are very neutral and some of them are very, very colorful. Let's keep going. I'm going to keep going. This is going to be a long day of just making these tags. You could use something like some of these cardstocks may or may not, and it's hard to say whether or not they're going to be super long lasting. These are probably not. Some of these things may or may not be acid free. A lot of times, like I was saying, I like to take the stickers off because I have seen like price tags sometimes kind of wear away very quickly, especially like if they're receipts or something. So, and things that are thermal printed, maybe not like these kinds of stickers, but sometimes they're very acidy and they have a lot of stuff that just kind of breaks down very quickly over time. So I'm going to try and just peel these things off of this card, even though I don't think it's going to make a difference in the long term. Before I put some washi tape down, I am going to maybe put down just some strips around the edges or something. Like that. Oh look, this one says 7 by 10. I don't know why it says that. It's a very pretty piece of avocado dyed paper. Don't know. We will get around to the washi tape, I promise. Because I have certainly not pulled enough things out today to work with, so I'm going to get some more. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I just was sitting here and I was like, washi tape. This needs washi tape. I think because I'm working in strips, right? So since I'm working in strips, I would just fold this over, but I don't want to cover up that 7 by 10 that, I mean, I had written on this paper because I obviously needed a piece of scrap paper. This is very cute. Very cute, very cute. I have this extra. I was about to throw this in the garbage, but then I decided that we need to continue to fill in our little thing over here. Let's not forget that. Sorry, I'm really super, kind of not entirely with it today. I might start pulling from these things over here. I'm not really sure. I can finish up with like these things. I do think that would be lovely to just kind of leave that circle there. And let that show through. And I'm going to leave it so that it can kind of capture part of one of these circles that's already here. That is exactly what I am going to do. And I'm going to come over and I'm going to put some washi tape over the top of this too and see what happens. I am kind of not really thinking about this, but I do think that whenever you see something, a design or a color, and we're switching colors and we're seeing lots of different tags and things today, and I think it does kind of grab my attention, and it kind of moves me in a different direction and inspires me to do something different. And I'm just kind of going with that and really kind of playing with that. And I like this green, and now I'm covering it up, but I'm kind of keeping the pattern underneath here. It's a little bit peeking through, and it's playing with that circle. And I am going to need to clean my fingers off because I'm getting goo all over my stuff, and I hate it when that happens. Let's pull out the washi tape. This is the one I had the other day, which is kind of a very neutral one. I have these ones, which are still in the box because it's just nice. Let's see if we can find something out of that. No. Let's get the big box. I have so much washi tape. I'm sure you do too. Okay. The big box of washi tape. Just because I'm in a really neutrals kind of a mood, I guess. This might work. This is too small. I want something that's going to cover some real estate. I think that might work as well. The pink and the pink. Yeah. So I found a few in there after I said no. There's just so many different ones. Ooh, I have this. This has got little sparrows on it. I'm not. Okay, I've tried. I am moving on. I'm going to do something different here. That is what I am doing. Okay, so, strips that we don't have to glue. Ladies and gentlemen, we should maybe try and find something with that green in it. Oh, look at that. Green. Does that go with that at all? Maybe not. It does go with the green. This is kind of cool. Okay. Using up our washi tape. A little bit. I'm gonna just put something on here that I don't think really goes with this. Maybe. This is kind of perfect. I don't like it with this super bright colored thing. Okay. I do like this. I should have matched this better. We might have gone too far. We might have gone to the point of not being able to recover this on the colors here. On the color choices that we're choosing. But, you know, we live, we learn. Sometimes we do a good job. Sometimes we wind up doing something we don't like. There are ways to recover this. I'm not covering the branding for this very cute brand of very customed bookmarks. Is what I do though like is this green with this. I think that is what I like. And maybe it's okay. maybe we're all right after all. Maybe we shouldn't panic so much. I don't know. It all comes out in the end. It's just fine, and we love it so much because we're just playing with our stuff. And that means we are going to get to win. Whether or not this is the most beautiful thing we've ever made, you don't know. You don't care. It's fine. It's going to work. It's fine. It's going to work. That's what I'm saying to you. Don't worry. Don't worry, don't worry. We're playing with paper, and you know what? It's going to be okay. That's the important thing. The important thing is that we're getting out here and we're playing and we're using up our stuff. And if it doesn't go exactly to plan, if we get dirty paper, we can cover it up. We can just keep adding to it until it's what we want. Oh, there's another paper scrap that I just found in my box of washi tapes. Okay, that was a side note for sure. This is just a very random one, and that's perfectly fine to just have. Oh, that's so perfect. That fits almost perfectly on there. That is definitely what we're going to do. There's actually enough, a big glob of glue that I'm just going to use right there. And then maybe we'll have to change that out. We don't know. Okay. Sorry if I'm getting too close to the edge. I have edged myself out. Okay, I'm gonna put the washi tapes away. I am gonna put the washi tapes away because, not because we're not having fun with them, but because we don't have space. We do not have space for the washies right now. So they're gonna have to hightail it out of here because I ran out of space. Okay. I should do something with them. Okay. The box. Let's put these all neatly back where they came from, more or less. And washies, say goodbye. Washies, say goodbye. We can get those out later when we start decorating more. But let's stick with getting rid of this pile of scrap. Pile of scrap. Pile of scrap. You need to leave my life, you pile of scrap, and become something just nicer and more beautiful, and something that we, yes, something that we love and cherish more than things we can use. Things we can use in our junk journals. That's what we're making today. Things we can use in our junk journals. Tags, and so I'm just using my scraps to make tags, to make beautiful cards and ephemera. Do we like this one? This is not the best one we've made so far. It is surely not. Okay. We tried some different things. Some of it really worked. I actually really like this. I would maybe like this better if it was different. But we have another card. Done and done. And it is different. It just doesn't match as well. Okay. This is just a piece of packaging paper that I'm using as a glue sheet today. So that, let's see if we can find some sort of little container. I have a little lid over here. It's not the most ideal thing, but I'm going to grab these things. I will put these on the tags at the end of today. And I'm still collecting those as I go along. I like these things. These are, of course, the tags that I grabbed, and I said, you know what? I don't really need to do something to all of these. I probably will cover this mystery revealed, but I kind of like this mystery bottle. I think that that's fine to leave as a thing. And like this, I'm fine with this. I love the lettering on this. I love the texture of this tag. I think it would be really cool to just do an inclusion in your book just like that. And then, of course, this is just noir. So I am going to maybe add this. Let's do this one right now. Let's cover this. And something fun. This would be fun if you gave like a gift. This would be a great gift tag. Where's my scissors? Scissors. Back to this. But this would be fun if you need a gift for somebody. I'm going to save that. I'm going to toss this little thing. But if you needed a gift for somebody and you don't know what to get them and you have a tag and it says mystery bottle and you could just put it on a bag, on a wine, and done and done. So, you know, sometimes when you need a gift, why not? Why not pull from your stash of things? This doesn't have to be this or that. We can have tags that ready-made gifts for our friends. Ooh, let's look at these. Let's put these on here. This would make a great gift tag. So says I would love to get this as a gift tag. These are such pretty papers, and they are double-sided, and it's always hard to determine what is the better side to use, I think. But what are we gonna do? You know what, for this, I'm gonna put this all over here, and then I am gonna cover this like so. These are just such pretty papers. Did I already just say that? Such pretty papers. So now I'm going a little bit different tactic. Just slightly. Just a slightly different tactic. To cover this. Since I'm only doing this one side. There. That's pretty. And now I'm going to cut these off. This tag is not super hefty by itself. It's just kind of light cardstock. It's a lot heavier now. Might be fun to change this a little bit. You could definitely around the corners, whatnot, but I like that a lot. This would be fun to maybe continue to play with. I'm going to run this over just to get sort of wrinkles out of that paper. Calling this done. Calling this a done one. Done one. Done one. I told you. It is. I said it's a thin one. I can fit it in my hole puncher. Can't line it up that way, but dear, oh dear, what have we done? We've messed it all up. Look at that. I punched in the wrong place. Punched in the wrong place. Can't see. Can't see. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna fix that later. Somehow. That's fine. Alright. Carrying on. On and on and on. And on and on and on. Gonna get this done. We're gonna use up all of this pile of scraps because I'm gonna use up all of this. I am super excited about it. I have hours of filming. You can come along and watch while I do this, and I know that I might have to do voiceovers or speed up some of this video or just go ahead and cut out parts of it or make it into 6 videos. But my 1 6-hour video, that one time where I spent 12 hours doing tiny collage, here is the next biggest one, and this is the next biggest one because this is a double tag. I am going to peel the sticker off. Again, I don't necessarily like to leave this, and I think this might come off, and I'm probably going to get tired of this halfway through. So bear with me while I flounder my way through trying to get this very sticky sticker off of this tag. I also need to go get some water. So, I have been filming for probably, this is an hour and 40 minutes now. So for this, I am probably going to fold this out like this. I am a little bit sad because this is, I guess, is what you could do if you don't want to keep this, but maybe you want to keep that. Maybe we don't care. Maybe we want to keep all of this. You can keep the cover of this. It's really pretty. And then maybe you just want to cover some of this. Let's just cover the whole thing. We don't really care. This is really pretty. It's really, like, nicely, it has a really nice, cool, embossed texture, so it's like super shiny, and it's got this like lotus pattern. We'll call it that. But is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cover this like this. We'll cover the front and the back together. We're going to cover the whole thing. It's going to be great. We're going to use up all our scraps. And we're going to get a tag at the end of this that we can use for a gift tag. For sure. We can do a lot of things with this. We're going to grunge it up. It's super shiny. It's super nice. We're going to grunge this. And we're going to just use up maybe a couple of these big strips, right? Do it fast and easy as she goes. And let's do this where we do this tag up. We have gone through quite a bit of this already, so that's great. We're making lots of scraps out of this, apparently. I'm just going to burnish that down, not too much. I'm going to wait until I put the other piece on. Was not too careful to get that in the right spot, was I? That's fine. It's fine, Christina. You can fix it later. We're going to get the top and bottom of that. Okay. So, I'm just going to put these two pieces down on here. I am going to burnish this down really well. Really well. Using this, which we have here. Burnishing using our bone folder. I'm going to bring that back together so this gets just stuck down super well. Okay, that is going to bend now right there. So I'm also going to help that while the glue is still just a little bit wet. Okay, so that's all covered. So okay, do we want to do the inside or do we want to go ahead and just kind of do this? It looks really cool. Look at that pink little bit where that, this is avocado dyed paper, and that's just where it got a little more dye maybe, or I put these in the oven to dry them, so it maybe just burned a little bit along the edge. It's just got that little tiny bit of detailing that just makes this so special and fun to work with. I have to say, I'm just really, really enjoying doing this, and it's just very lovely. Let's go ahead and do this way. This makes it such a nice finish on these edges. So yes, there you go. We have definitely taken this in a whole different direction than this tag looked like. I am going to grab my other little bit of this and fill in these last remaining bits and places where this can go with these little tiny bits and bobs and pieces. Just keep going at that. It's getting a little bit finicky here in the middle, maybe, where we have gotten all the edges, maybe. Okay. And then just stick these down. Stick them down any old which where. So this way we can build a collage while we're making smaller, ever smaller pieces. You can always just keep filling in and filling in and filling in forever and ever as things get smaller and smaller and smaller and you're just finding smaller and smaller and smaller holes for things to go. It's great. This is exactly what I need to be doing today, is just making, the easier way to do this would be to just make a big master board and stick those things on to bigger things on, but this is great too. I mean, do I not love this tiny little workspace where we're just filling in and filling in and filling in until it's full. And it's great, and it's good for my heart, because this is too small. I'm throwing that away. Too small. That one was rejected. Scrappy Saturday, my friends. Scrappy Saturday. Okay. I actually have bigger strips that I could be using here. Let's use up these bits before we go and try and find a big scraps to cover this big tag that we're working on. But you could take this, it's very pretty. You could just put a flower sticker on here and call this done. You could add some lace, whatever you want to do. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. So what are we gonna put on the inside of this? I kind of want to go with, like, because it has this fold, and I'm probably going to go ahead and cover the fold. I want to stick with like some of these like lighter colored papers, and so like lighter paper, and I'm going to kind of stick in the family of the very neutral, and I think I'm just going to stick that on there, and then this, and that should pretty much cover the whole thing. I think I'm going to have to find something for the very bottom. Okay. Ew. I got glue everywhere there. Too much glue, too much glue. Gluey, gluey, gluey. Indeed. So the problem here is going to be layering, because the problem here is going to be layering, because let's get that fold in there really good. So that this other paper is too big, and it's not going to go right on that edge. So how many small pieces do we have left? Let's grab this. Grab this, grab this. Just put that there. It's not what we had, and that's okay. We'll save it for another day. Okay? So I'll work into this fold so that I don't get folds when I fold this back over. Okay, I'm very silent as I'm just kind of meditating my way through this. I really don't want to chat about it. I really just kind of want to focus on like doing this and what a beautiful process it is. Oftentimes I don't mind chatting, but right now I'm just mesmerized by this whole putting these things down. It's very nice. Kind of work that off. I feel like the glue is still very wet on here, and I have it all over my fingers. Might just grab over here. These are right out. I usually have on my desk, but I've obviously cleaned it up. I'm a little spray bottle, but I don't know where I would have put it because it just seems like it should be on my desk, you know? And it's not. Now I'm confused, and these are totally dry because the package didn't get closed tight. But I do have another one, and these are, I got these at TJ Maxx. They're makeup cleansing wipes, and they smell nice. This one's kind of a little lemony. I don't know if this is like a good replacement for baby wipes or not, but that's what I've been using because I like them. I'm going to try and get some of the glue off of my fingers now. Just a little bit if I can. I still have a whole pile of scraps over here, and a whole bunch of stuff that I have not even gotten to. I've been using the strips because I like to do these strips. The thing that I like to do, I like the way that it looks. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to get some of the glue off of this because my glue stick was very, very gluey. I guess I pressed too hard. I shouldn't blame the glue stick for my own, you know, overzealous gluing. So this will make a really pretty tag. It's folded in half, and I do think that it would look pretty with just like a rose sticker or something stuck down on there. I do have one of these in a book, and it's kind of a bit bulky, and I just glued it down like this in this trifold, and it comes up. You could write and journal inside here. Again, you could use this as a gift tag, a gift, obviously. Two is great use for tags. Of course. Back into the pile with you. Little bitty scraps. I'm going to add those back and put them on new tags and not use them on this unless they're going to just absolutely must go there. I should get one of those like glue remover things. Oh no, look at that. I've washed through into the... I totally have gone so far that you can see now the barcode underneath here where it's wet. Washed my paper right off of here after so much work to get it on there. So pretty. Just rip that right off. Maybe. How small is too small to keep? I can see it. See, I'm not going to save the shavings from my file, so that's good, right? And then a big piece comes off, and I'm like, oh, maybe, no. Definitely okay to throw away your paper sandings. Maybe tomorrow, just to kind of keep up with this, we can take some of these and decorate them. I might not get that far today because, or I might. Let's take this one and put some decoration on it. Why not? Why not? Why not? So, this is kind of a fun one. You can journal on the inside, and we can for sure decorate the front and the back. Maybe you could also put a couple of pages in here. You could also put a couple pages inside here. And wouldn't that be just a cute little book? So you could make a little book and it would have this, and you could put stamped or write a sentiment on here. But you could make a book. You could do a lot of things. But let's leave this as a tag for now and just decorate the outside of this with some things and have a little bit of fun now that we have gotten through a big chunk of this. I am kind of ready to move on and do something different. I do still have all of these tags over here, like all of this pile of stuff. So I am going to continue, and I'm going to keep doing this until I have this pile of scraps is gone. But I really kind of just want to do a few simple things with this. I'm probably going to put a piece of lace, and I happen to have, look at that, I happen to have some lace. So I might put a little bit of lace down the side of this, or you could go across the bottom, you could go here, you could do both of these things. I kind of like either putting it here or putting it just down the side. Okay. I am going to try this with my glue stick, honestly. See if I can not go terribly overboard on this. I don't know where my, they're not in there. I'm looking for my sewing scissors to cut this lace. Let's see if we can make that work. I am going to just use the glue stick to attach this to here. Get rid of the rest of that just so it's not in the way. I'm going to leave this. This is still, I could go back and sand this a little bit more, but I kind of like this worn edge. I just like worn edges all of the way around. Do we want to do a little bit more collage on top of here? And you know what? I think we do. Just to kind of decorate this up, make it a little more interesting. Although I just really like this paper. So I'm going to stick that down. And then I'm going to use just the top of that on the inside of here. And you could like play around with these patterns on here as well, but let's just go with this. I do get really caught up on doing little tiny detailed things a lot, I think. That's kind of fun. Okay. And then we have to decide where we want to put this piece of lace. I do like kind of making this extend farther. Put that there. You could put it here. I don't like it there. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to cover up that edge just a little bit and add to that. So that can go there. I'm going to add that with that. Let's look and see if this has a direction. Is that prettier? Yeah, I think that side is prettier. Okay. We can put just enough on here to get it sticky enough. We have other options for glue. I'm just going to use this glue and call it good enough. If I line it up at one of these ends, then I don't have to cut both ends. Although I think I could go the other way. Oh yeah, okay. That's looking really good. And then maybe, I know I was talking about roses with this pink, but maybe we'll put some butterflies going up. We'll see what we can find that's kind of going to match these colors and look good. Right? I think that looks good. I might kind of play and just stick that down onto that rounded edge a little bit. Okay, I really, really like that. I am going to go back in and poke a hole. I'm not going to go too overboard with this. I'm going to leave the inside of this pretty plain. I'm probably going to leave the back very plain so that I think it's very pretty just the way it is. You can also come back in and journal on this. You could add more paper to it. You could have made this into a little book by just adding a couple pages, and you could still do that. It would be very, very cute as a little book that just opens and it has a few pages in it. But I'm going to leave that for today and not do that. It would be really pretty to have a word stamped on the back of here. I'm trying to think. I do have, I'm just going to stamp, I have these words and I'm going to go ahead and stamp those on there. I just looked over and noticed my microphone is very far away, and I know that I've been very, very quiet today, so hopefully that is not a problem for us. If it is, I guess I'll do voiceover, but I don't really want to do that. I could just put music over it and speed this whole thing up, and that would be good. I have a giant pile of lots of different colors that we could use to do this, but let's just go with this vintage photo, and I'm just going to stamp these words onto here. These are just kind of a text image here. And it's nice if you can get it all to go down. But sometimes you can't. And do I want to do some on here? I feel like the time has passed to put that on there, so I'm not going to maybe stamp it that way. And then maybe go that way. And I'm just going to try and use up whatever's on here, and I'm just going to not worry about if I'm stamping over it again. And that looks really cool, and I like that. Do you guys huff on your stamps? I feel like you should just kind of blow on it. It makes it work a little bit better. I like that. That looks really cool. It kind of gives it this very, this is the fun part. We're having fun now. Okay, let's look through I'm doing this as a side. I'm going to continue gluing things down. I could have done this in a bigger way. I'm doing this in a very small way today. Let's pull this over here. So now is what I really am looking for is I want some, I'm thinking butterflies or some flowers that might go just along this edge. There might be some little tiny things in here. Again, I could maybe find a stamp. I don't know if I have. I probably do have some little tiny stamps somewhere. Haven't been into my stamps lately, so I don't know. I have these words. Oh, this is not. I want something sweet. I think that this is kind of a very sweet little tag. And I wouldn't, this one says the number one thing is designers. Oh, here, you can read it on this one, not on the vellum. Designers are meant to be loved, not to be understood. That kind of feels like, how I'm feeling today. Follow your passion. That's too strong. The more you use creativity, the more you get. I like some of these. I want something that I feel like really matches, and that's why I like the vellum, I think, today. The Expert Enough Manifesto. I like that, but that is not. Life is an experiment. Design must seduce, shape, and more importantly, evoke an emotional response. Oh, I don't know if I really want that. I don't know why I've spent so much time looking at that, because I'm not going to pick it. I might just layer that on there. That kind of seems like what I want. And then I'm going to go into my big sticker book and I'm going to find something to put on there. Do you think that would look good? That would look good. This is, oh yes, yum, yum, yum. That's what I want. I want something that's like really calling to me. And then I'm going to go see if I can find a smallerish sticker. It's maybe a soft pink to add to this. The only problem with these washi stickers is that they never come off. And somebody has probably played around with these things enough to be like, to heck with it. I think one way is to get something stickier and put it in there. I did one earlier on here. I know I did, and it came off so much nicer. I really like this tag, and I think it goes with the colors. And I got it. There we go. I'm doing very straight up and down right now because I just am loving it. That one's a little off kilter, and you know what? It's fine. Okay, and I have the sticker book out. And let's look and see what we can find in the way of something pinker, not redder. Just kind of something that'll blend, and like this. That might actually be the thing. We don't have to look too hard. Let's see if we, let's look. These flowers are also very pretty, and we could hang them off of the side a little bit, and I think that that would be very nice. I think this butterfly could go very, very beautifully. I did say a butterfly. Would you guys mind if I put the beetle on there? I think it's gorgeous. Oh, I think it's too sweet. Oh, killing myself. I almost used this the other day, and I think that I might use it now. Okay, done and done. Okay, yeah. We made a tag. And we used that I was going to use the other day, and we can stop. So we used up some of our stickers. I love these black on black. I just found a, these are so pretty. I found a place that sells journals that have black paper in them. So pretty. Okay, so we did that. I think I am going to put a piece of this on here. Can you even read it? No. We still have the inside. Okay, we are not going to use those because I'm going to leave the inside of this to be used as a journaling spot. If somebody, whoever gets this in the end, me or whoever wants it, they can have that as a journaling space on the inside. I really love this. I'm really super happy that I decided to stop and go ahead and finish a tag. Yay! Where is my little box of these things? I like putting two of these together. Maybe it's just me trying to use up my things a little bit faster. I like this. I like the way it looks. And I like having this finished. Finished. Next time we'll make a little book, which I think will also be fun. Oh my, that's not going to even want to go through there, is it? It's got such a wee small little hole, and we have done so much to this tag to make that thicker and farther than it's probably an easier way to do this too. Probably the easiest way is to just do one, but these are too thin. I feel like it's just not enough if you don't do more than one. So we will solve that problem by getting this little bit slightly thicker cord. Watch this. Okay. Like I said, it's probably easier to just do one. So let's do that. Just do a single piece, put it through. Put it through. If we can get this one piece to go through, it's gonna solve our problems. Okay, now we have a loop going through, right? So now I'll make our two loops. That one is much shorter than this one, which is fine. It's very fine. Okay, so we went front to back. We want these to go in from the back to the front. So we'll just put that through that loop, pull it through, and there you go. That is the easier way to do this. When you have a little hole and not enough space. Okay, this tag is done and done and done and done and done for days. Done and done for days. We have gone through, we have added the little topper now. I'm going to cut this one so it matches, and I am going to throw away this little bit. Finally, we have used something up to the point where we can get rid of it. Okay. So that is a cute little tag, and I'm going to put this in my pile of things that are done that can be put into a junk journal. Finished ephemera, and it's got that on the inside, and that is a little bit problematic. Now that we have the tag in there, it's a little bit difficult to open, and we can't really crack it open. So maybe the answer was to put a tie tag, put a topper on there that ties at the top. But this is really good. It feels really good. I really like it a lot. Maybe the answer is to just glue that on. Not really sure. We might change that later. We might leave it. But this little piece of ephemera looks really good. It just feels good. I like it a lot. It's got the ribbon, it's got some stickers, it looks really, it's got this interesting piece on the inside that matches this. It's just enough for me, and I think that that looks great. So I'm going to put that into my pile of done things. And that, I think, is a truly done thing until it gets ready to have that. Just because this is here now, I might try and find one of these where I think it could go. And I think it can go here. I might put it right in the middle of here. I like this. You can see a little bit of this tag still poking through, and that really matches it. So I'm going to add that to this. I wonder what this would look like on that. That would look fabulous. I think I might put this on here, actually. The only thing is, I'm not sure about this because it's got... This will be fun to put stickers on top of, and I like this because it doesn't cover up too much of it. This I'm probably not gonna like. I guess you could put a square here to write on. It's gonna be kind of a little bit difficult to write on because these papers are a little bit bulky. I think that this could just be a thing you put in there and people can pull it out and go, ooh, well, isn't that interesting? Because it really is. It's really kind of its own pretty thing. And it would be very fun to find this as a tuck thing, and I don't think it really needs a whole lot of anything else. This leaf is going to really kind of curl up on me. So I'm going to combat that by putting it down like that. There you go. That kind of gives this whole thing a focal point without being too much, and it plays well with these papers. So let's finish that up and put it aside, and I'm going to call this done. You could add a tag at the top. You could add a tab down the side. I think that those would be kind of more fun things, maybe a paper clip or something. just to finish this out, but that you can definitely add as you are going through and adding this to a page. Yeah, I would probably maybe, if I was going to do something, just maybe staple something onto the top of this would be kind of the way I would go with this if I wanted to add something more, or just add a paper clip on the side. I think would add just enough to this. These are some of the ugliest paper clips I have ever seen. Look at that little tiny guy. This is what I use. These are my paper clips that I use for... I think there's a candy in here. Oh. Oh no. Oh wait. I do have this yellow one. Which I think kind of goes with the... There you go. I think this would be cool to use as a bookmark. I think this would be cool to use just at the top, and you could paper clip this onto the top of the page, and I think that that would be a very cool way to use this. You could also attach the paper clip to this, but if you didn't do that, and it would be a very big paper clip, I think that just paper clipping this on maybe a few other things, or just by itself because it is very thick, would add a very cool kind of a piece of things to look at. Get rid of that. I have these twist ties, which can just live in there for now. Let's put that in things that are done. Things that want to live. And a junk journal. These are things that want to live in our junk journals. Okay, I'm going to put that back. I'm going to go back to... I'm going to go get some lunch. It's 2 o'clock. Thanks for being here with me and covering some tags. I hope you had a glorious day. I will probably be back. I'm probably going to continue with this after I get some food in me. I definitely have a few more little bits and bobs to cover. Or not. I mean, at some point you can just call it done, even though maybe it's not completely covered. This is just super satisfying. Getting to use up all my scraps. Little tiny bits and pieces of stuff that I have saved for too long, and now they're going down. And making journal cards, we're making some tags. This is not necessarily the most, I don't claim that this is the most the best process for doing this. How's that? This is a process for doing this. It's kind of nice. It's kind of relaxing. And that's what I'm after today. Just doing a little bit of this. Taking things that would have been thrown away. And this to me is what a junk journal is really all about. Taking things that maybe would have been thrown away, and I'm saving them and giving them a new and exciting life. And that's what this is about. And I love it a lot. I hope you do too. I'm going to turn this off. I'll probably be back, but I'm really getting close to the time when I'm not going to be able to record anymore today. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed making tags, we have this one, which I left the back on. I have this one, which I just finished. This will be a journal card. I'll probably just put a solid piece on the back up here. I have this. I've covered the front and the back. It can be decorated on the front, on the back. It can have words. I have this one, which when we pull it back out and we're not trying to judge it too hard, it's actually pretty good. we have that. I have this one, which is ready to be decorated. Just using up scraps. I have spent a couple hours. I finished this card. This could be a bookmark. This can be paper clipped in. It's just a very interesting and fun thing to look at. This is a beautiful tag with lots of room to journal on the inside, and also would make a very good tuck. This is very sturdy. This would make a great gift tag as well. I mean, if you got a present with this on it, this would be a present in and of itself, I think. So thank you for joining me today as I have been going through my piles and piles of scraps that have kind of accumulated and making something out of them that we can either just add straight up to a junk journal, adds very pretty little artsy things, and things that we can add slowly to a junk journal as well. Some of these still need a little bit of work. Some of these are really done. Like, subscribe, and share to Scrapcraft and Stitchery. If you have ideas, if you crafted along with me today and you want to share what you did, be sure to drop a comment in the comments below. I have some links to the Amazon things that I'm using. Check the video description below. Also, there is a link to my Etsy store. Check in there to see if I have some journals to sell. Or sometimes I have some digital prints that I'm working on, adding more of those all of the time. For the Amazon links, I do get a small amount percentage. It doesn't cost you anything more to shop on there, but it does help me out a little bit because I can get some Amazon dollars to spend. So I get paid if a small percent goes to me if you choose to shop through those Amazon links, and I greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining today at Scrapcraft and Stitchery. I hope that you will use this technique to use up some of your scraps and make some beautiful custom tags and or journal cards or masterboards or whatever you do. Let me know. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye.